Hi everyone, it's Suey here. I went to a writers conference last weekend and I just wanted to do a video about one of the classes that was talking about YA books. This was a class taught by a professor from our local university who has been teaching YA literature for years and years and years. It's kind of talking about the history of YA, some of the best YA books that have been written over the years. One of the things he shared with us is his reading list that he uses in his class. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want this so bad. So I started taking screenshots, a picture of his screen. And I missed the first one, but I think I might use those up here. I'll put those up here as we talk about them. But then at the end, he passed out an actual handout. This was like so old school. We got a handout of a reading list. And I was just like, man, I just kind of want to read all these books. We talked about them a little bit when in the class, but I kind of wanted to come home and really look at it and see which ones I've read and which ones I would love to add to my TBR, which ones maybe I haven't even heard of. So I thought I would do that as a video because it seems like you guys sometimes like it when I, ramble on about a list. Lists are fun, right? So what he's done is taken 10 of his favorite titles and broken them up into different decades. The assignment that he gives his class is that everyone has to choose a book for each decade and read and analyze and pick one that they haven't read already, and then they present to the class. And I was like, man, this would be so much fun. I want to go back to school and do these fun assignments. In the 60s, this is the one that I think I missed taking a picture of. So in the 60s, he has these 10 titles. The Contender, Reflections on a Gift of Watermelon Pickle. That sounds interesting. The Chosen, The Outsiders, Mr. and Mrs. BoJo Jones, The Pigman, A Wizard of Earthsea, I'll Get There, It Better Be Worth the Trip, Lisa, Bright and Dark. So out of those 10, I have read The Chosen and The Outsiders and The Wizard of Earthsea, but I would love to read The Outsiders again. I just hardly remember that book. It's so weird that we talk about it all the time and I hardly remember it. I think he considers The Outsiders to be the first YA book. Most of the others I have not heard of, but they all sound really fun. Lisa, Bright and Dark sounds a little bit familiar. Anyway, those are from the 60s, so we're going back quite a ways on those ones. Now, let's see what he has for the 70s. Go Ask Alice, Deathwatch, Dinky, Hocker Shoots Smack, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich, A Day No Pigs Would Die, House of Stairs, Dragon Wings, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, I Am the Cheese, and Beauty. Oh, he also stuck in The Chocolate War. He just says, everyone must read this novel, but I guess that wasn't part of the books that he was having his students choose from. So, from that one, I think I've only read Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, and Beauty. Beauty is one of my most favorite books ever. Oh, and Go Ask Alice. Have I read that one? That might be just one that I have heard of, but have not actually ever read. The rest of them I have not heard of. So I have a lot of catching up to do there for sure on those 2 decades. Okay, what did he write down for the 80s? Jacob Have I Loved, Stranger with My Face, Annie on My Mind, Dicey's Song, The Moves Make the Man, Hatchet, The Tricksters, Fallen Angels, Ava, and Weetsy Bat. So I've only read Jacob Have I Loved. I've heard of Dicey's Song. I think that was a Newbery Award winner. And Hatchet. I can't remember if I read Hatchet or not. Goodness. So lots that I didn't read then either. In the 80s was when I was actually a YA person. And the 70s, I was a very young YA. But what was I reading in the 80s? I was reading more like Phyllis A. Whitney. She was my favorite back in the day. 1990s. I was going to say the 90s is my decade, my lost decade, when I was not aware of any books or any movies or any TV shows or any songs. All I was doing was little kids. So I always call it my lost decade. But let's see. There's a couple on here I might have known or read. Okay. The Silver Kiss. Castle in the Air. Missing May, The Giver, Staying Fat for Sarah Burns, Send Me Down a Miracle, Buried Onions, Out of the Dust, Whirligig, and Speak. So, yeah, I've read a little more on this one. Missing May, I think I read that one. The Giver, of course. And Out of the Dust, I loved that one. And Speak. Of course, I've read Speak. The rest of them, nope. 2000s. This is as far as he went. So we're talking, these are all books from quite a while ago. These are the 2000s, like 2000s, not past 2010. Stuck in Neutral, The House of the Scorpion, Feed, A Northern Light, Godless, The Astonishing Life of Octavia Nothing, Volume 1. Sold, The White Darkness, The Arrival, and The New Policeman. So from those, I have read The House of Scorpion, loved that one. Feed, I think this one might be the M.T. Anderson one, which I haven't read. I've read another Feed, the zombie one. I bet you this is the M.T. Anderson one. And I don't think I've read that one. I've had it on my list forever. A Northern Light I have read. And The Astonishing Life of Octavia Nothing I have read. So it appears that those last few decades I read maybe 3 or 4. The first few, like only 1 or 2. I'm surprised that on these later ones I haven't heard of the rest of them. So I'm wondering what you guys think of this list. Have you read much from it? And which books would you pick if you had to do an assignment? Without knowing about them, you can't pick something you've already read. So for the 60s, I would probably choose, just from the titles, I'll Get There, It Better Be Worth the Trip. In the 70s, just from the titles, I would probably choose to read A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich. In the 80s, let's choose Dicey's Song, because I know that was a Newbery and I haven't read it. From the 90s, I would choose maybe Staying Fat for Sarah Burns. That sounds interesting. And from the 2000s, let's say I would choose The White Darkness. Okay, there's my little video for today about some YA books from history, some classic YA novels, I guess. Some of them aren't quite in the classic range yet, but they're getting there. So let me know if you've read any of these, if you would have and you would recommend any to me. Maybe I'll add them to my list. Especially this summer when we're doing YA in August. I mean, I do YA all the time, but maybe I will pump it up a little bit in August. Let me know if you've read some that I haven't read and what I should add to the list and what you think of this list in general. And if you think it would be fun to have to choose a book from each one of those decades and read it and analyze it and then present it to a class, would that be fun? Or am I just weird? Until next time, happy reading, bye!